Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'm going to be reading the one-shot At Risk of Feeling Dumb by NPD_Rumpo. Now just so before we start, there is quite a few trigger warnings in this. First off, Darzai tries to commit suicide, so just be careful. And there are descriptions, quite vivid actually, of vomiting. So if either of that triggers you, please click off now, and I'll give you a chance to do that now. Anyway, if you haven't clicked off, I assume you're good with those trigger warnings, but anyway, this is a relatively short one-shot with only a little over 1,000 words, so it shouldn't be this too long. But it's relatively unknown, so go to the fic in the description below. I'll leave the link there and give it all the kudos, all the love, all the likes, all the comments, because this fic is truly amazing. Anyway, here is the summary. Darzai wakes up from a failed suicide attempt to a concerned Oda who wants nothing more than to help him. Hope you guys enjoy this, make sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the fic. When Darzai woke up, the only thing coursing through his mind is that he felt like shit. Parts of him were hot, his arms and thighs burned, and his stomach felt like it was churning with lava. On other parts of him, he felt cold. His face was freezing, and he could swear the bandages had been taken off of his chest. When he fumbled to feel around, hot fingers glazing ice-cold skin, when he found himself correct. Buttons undone and bandages gone. His defected chest opened to the world. He panicked, trying to sit up, but his vision spun and he swore he was going to fall off whatever was holding him until strong arms braced his back, propping him up. Ugh, who? Mori? He mumbled, trying to hide the terror in his voice at the thought of the doctor being the one seeing him like this. Not exactly. A familiar voice responded, and Darzai deflated with relief. When his sight finally cleared, he could see Oda above him, looking displeased. What are you doing here? It felt like all of Darzai's words were coming out too slow, and his head throbbed. I don't feel good. You took God knows how much medication and lost a decent amount of blood. I don't think you should feel anywhere near good. Oda sounded angry, and Darzai closed his eyes again, feeling pain that sparked behind his eyes at the small motion. He opened his mouth to reply, but instantly closed it, covering it with his hand. No, I don't feel good, he whined, slightly muffled. He could hear Oda scramble for something for him to get sick into. A bucket was thrust into Darzai's hands unceremoniously, and he leaned over it, his eyes still closed as he gagged dryly. After a moment, he felt his bangs being pushed back, pinned by what he assumed was a headband. Whatever he was on shifted, and a hand came to rest on his back, rubbing up and down as Darzai could feel the creep of bile up his throat. Another gag, and a forceful wave of vomit spewed out, splattering against the bottom of the bucket. Darzai didn't have time to breathe before he heaved again, coughing and sputtering mid-gag. He managed to gasp for breath this time before vomiting again. It seemed to be a little less in this wave, but there seemed to be less in this wave. Darzai stayed curled up like that for a while, coughing and dry heaving unproductively. What did you take? Oda asked, and Darzai grimaced, lifting his head from the bucket. If you're... He hiccuped, bringing his hand back to his forehead, continuing after a bit. If you're gonna interrogate me, you can leave. I'm trying to help you. I don't want it, Darzai grumbled, but he couldn't hide the way his tension dissipated from his body when Oda's hand caressed his back. It doesn't matter if you want it or not. You're lucky I found you. Unlucky, Darzai corrected, settling the bucket back down on the ground and pulling his knees into his chest. You didn't let me die. I like you better alive, Oda replied simply, letting his hands fall from Dazai's back. Dazai didn't want to let him know how much he wanted it back, the comfort of knowing he wasn't too hurried to touch. Sorry, he mumbled, turning away his face. You have nothing to be sorry about. That was a lie. Dazai had so much to be sorry for. He was sorry that Oda had found him. He was sorry that Oda was his friend. He was sorry Oda was there. He was sorry that Oda knew him at all. Do you feel any better? Oda asked, leaning forward in an attempt for eye contact. No, Dazai winced, burying his face in his knees. Everything still hurts. I don't want to be alive. Dazai, what? It's true. He snapped his head up. You fucked it up saving me, okay? I could have finally. His eyes welled up and he bit his lip. Oda looked at him, and for once Dazai could read sadness in his expression before he squeezed his eyes shut. Dazai, please, I'm sorry. Dazai thought his heart was going to burst. Why was Oda sorry? What did he have to be sorry about? For saving him? For doing what any friend would do? For picking him up off the steps of his apartment and giving Dazai a home? And maybe he could have peace? In brief moments of peace under dim bar lights wasn't enough. Dazai wanted to rid of the agony in his soul, the pain coursing through his body all the time. The discomfort of his own skin. He wanted to be free. Hey, it's okay. I'm not mad. Look at me. He could hear Oda's concerned voice from far away, but he was sure Oda had been right beside him before. He could feel his own hand shaking as someone else's holding his arms as well. Why did everything feel a million miles away? He finally managed to open his eyes, and Oda was right in front of him, concerned blue eyes peering back at him. His eyes stung as he sobbed. When had he started sobbing? He couldn't remember, staring up at Oda. Oh, buddy, Oda murmured, before pulling Dazai onto his lap and into a hug. Dazai wailed, clinging to Oda with all his strength in his shaking body. He cried for what felt like hours until his throat was raw and eyes were sore. He felt like the world was spinning around him, and every time he opened them, so he opted to hide his face in the crook of Oda's neck, ragged breathing coming out hot and heavy. Do you still feel sick? Oda asked, voice filled with a kindness that Dazai had believed to be impossible. I definitely don't feel good, he croaked, sniffling. Oda sighed. Next time, just call me, text me, reach out for me, for God's sake. A gentle hand ran its way through Dazai's matted hair. I don't want you to do this to yourself. I'm going to do it anyway. Dazai shifted, still holding Oda close. I'm always going to do this to myself. I don't know what else to do. I can help you though. I can teach you other things to do. Dazai snorted. I'm serious, Oda continued, his hand stalling to rest on top of Dazai's head. I care about you because you're my friend. I'll help you if you need it. Dazai smiled, relaxing into the embrace. I'll try. Okay, everyone, that was At Risk of Feeling Dumb. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're taking care of yourself because please take care of yourself. I don't want you to be in any sort of trouble. Anyway, if you managed to get through this, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!